for Series M, and today it's a beautiful Sunday. It's a beautiful Sunday. We are catered for. We're gonna have a lovely day, an awesome meal afterwards. It's episode 6, by the way. I'm coming to you live on KG's Kitchen.
Hi everybody.
It feels nice doing interview, not like interview, like podcast we kishlak.
Yes, because you're more comfortable in your own
Space.
workspace.
Yeah.
Yes, because then ukhuluma vele ngendawo ojwayele ukusebenzela kuyona. Yes.
How are you feeling today?
A bit nervous, but excited at the same time. Because whenever you get to express or explain umsebenzi owenzayo, it's beautiful, you know. But then there's also that nervousness behind it. Okay, am I going to say it right? The questions that are going to follow. Yeah,
it's lovely if you're comfortable doing this in your own kitchen. KG's kitchen.
No, it is, and I do appreciate that we met here. So yeah, noma ngabona ikhekeliwa niyosho ukuthi ayibona likhekeliwa KG shishulungise. So yes.
You look stunning, by the way.
Thank you so much.
A gentleman has to pay a compliment. You look stunning. Yeah, so let's go back to your background, Yako, and get to know about who KG is. I know when we meet here and there.
Yes, we've actually met at a few events.
Yeah. So for somebody who doesn't know who KG is, KG.
KG, actually, KG, the letters are from my name, which is Kgomotso. So when I came to Newcastle, people were struggling to mention my name. They would call me any name, ngathi Suthu, N-O-K. Any name that maybe K, I was that name. Okay. So coming from Joburg, I'm like, konje that side vele. Oh, if your name has a KG, then bakbiza KG. So I'm like, okay, fine. Let me just simplify it. Velengiti guys, I'm KG. Okay. Then from there onwards, I started being KG. And Kgomotso is originally from Joburg, born and bred corner. Then
where in Joburg?
I was living in Pes Valley.
Oh, it's central.
No, it's not central. It's a suburb, so it's not central. Okay. Yeah. But it's not too far from. Do you know Eastgate Mall?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes, it's the suburb just before you get to Eastgate.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So then came to Newcastle. I was wooed here.
when was this? You were moving to Newcastle.
Okay, it was a back and forth of me first coming to visit, then officially then we moved here officially Saqala Saka, and I was studying. Actually, my background comes from high school, the cooking part, because I was studying home economics.
Okay.
So it's always been something that I'm interested in. So then went to college, did hospitality and catering also.
Oh,
sorry.
I heard. Okay, how was life like growing up in that time? Egoli Pes Valley.
It was fine. It was, for me, it was normal childhood stuff, you know. You grow up, you come back from school, you hang around, get invited to people's birthday parties, go to movies, have play dates. and then study time. So it was sports also. So I was also into sports growing up. I used to swim. So then the focus was that also. And yeah, like I think the kids now and us, it's quite different. Like me being a mom now, I can never let my child like go out. So see, there's a park, would play by the park. So now I think safeness is kakhulu for you to send out your kids to the park on their own. So yeah, we would go to the park after school, we would play and then come back extremely tired. So lahle nesikhiye nkosami wazotshela enu mama. So yes,
so uqale primary khona lapha eBestville.
Yes, I went to Troyville Primary, then I went to Athlone Girls High.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in a girls' school. No, it's a girls' school. It's a high school.
Oh, you don't board lab?
No, it did not have so I would come back home. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Now nguzwa kahle. And then my siblings, how many siblings you have?
It's just me and my older sister. So my mom only had 2 kids. Yes, it's just the 2 of us. She's older than I am.
Okay.
Oh, I tend to forget how old I am, so I don't know how old she is. But she's a year older than me. No, I'm 31. She's 33.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes.
How was it, like, girls? Was it there was a fight?
It was it was such a nice bond because it was me, my mom, and my sister only.
Okay.
So then growing up, it was like my mom, obviously the parents, and then it was me and my sister. So everything that we did together. But there were a few fights here and there. Mhlambe uqale wadle apple nami sengiyalifuna sethi no, you can't you can't get an apple sengilala ngikwatile, you know. And maybe she would also because it was not the age difference, maybe she would also want to like hang out with her friends, and maybe mhlambe at that time I didn't have, or they're not back from school, but I don't want to be at home. So I would want to maybe hang around with them, and then she would be like, sorry. So it was, there were those fights. Obviously, growing up, there's always going to be siblings fight, but it never got to a point where it caused division between myself and her. So Namanji, we still good video calls.
You like glue and paper.
Yes, and
not separatable.
No.
That's so lovely because with girls, yeah,
I think also I don't know if it's how my mom brought us up, we should always be together, and I'm glad that she did teach us that upbringing, Guti, look out for one another and stuff like that. Because there was this one time, guys, I was drowning. My sister, she's taller than I am.
Okay.
They were swimming. Yim loyo nje bulo in the deep end. There goes my sister coming to save my life. And now, instead of, when you can't swim, you are now holding on for dear life. Gulo muntu lona that's trying to rescue you. Now we're both going down. We both going down. And then you're trying to get out and you're holding on to this person, and now they drowning, now you drowning. So it was, that's the funniest memory we have of our childhood.
So that's the main reason you decided to join swimming? Or
no, it was swimming. The school that we went to, it did have swimming. So they'll teach you how to swim. So then from primary, grew up in that, got to high school, they also had swimming. So it's something that we just grew up with and enjoyed water. Even in our neighborhood, there was a pool. So we'd always go and swim. So I think it was just growing up around water and loving it.
Oh, yes. I thought it's that moment.
No, it is not. It was not due to that. It was. I think it was because maybe it was offered a eskolweni. Then it was something that we both decided to do. Yeah.
At some point, Nina, like with your sister, did you feel like ukuthi mhlambe you should have a brother at some moments?
No, I don't remember ever wanting another sibling. No. Seriously, I don't remember ever wanting another sibling. Namanje, angimding. But one thing I used to cry about was being called Ulasborn. I don't know why that made me cry, but every time when my mom would introduce us, was okay, this is Matuso. Matuso is my sister's name, and this is Kgomotso, the last born. Guys, I would be like, no, not the last born. Like, so stuff like that. My mom would be like, I don't know why it made me cry. I would just say, I'm Kgomotso, not the last born. I don't know why that made me cry. Can't think about it right now because I don't know. But I would actually like to think back and find out ukuthi yini le bengikhalisa ukuthi kuthiwa you're last born ngoba vele wokugcina. I don't know, I would cry whenever my mom would introduce us like that. Yeah.
Okay, I know music and food go together.
Oh yes.
The ingoma of which made like you fall in love with the music, mhlambe you were eating. How your memory?
No.
Or vice versa. You were listening to music, you fell in love with the food you were having.
No, I can't connect the two the way you're describing it.
Okay.
There was a song that I was listening to and maybe had a nice meal and I was like, So it's, for me, I love music. Yeah. So I love more, the thing about music is it does not matter what the language is in the music or what it's even saying, because sometimes it will be saying some freaky stuff, but then from the beat or the way they saying, your soul will be like,
I love this song.
I love this song. So that's what music is to me, the beats, the way the words are being said, and then you just fall in love with it. But I don't have a specific genre that I say I listen to. Okay. Or I know there's ones that I don't like, but I don't want to mention. Because, you meet up with people within that genre and they'll be like, okay. So, yeah.
Okay. There must be one song of which mhlampe njengamanje it resonates with you, mhlampe you having a busy week.
It was Burna Boy.
Okay.
What's this track?
It's one of these new ones.
Yes, one of the new ones. I think Last. Yes.
Oh, last. Hey.
Yes. Yeah, that one, it was me driving, it was me cooking, it was me doing a cake. Yes, I love that one. I loved and King Sete.
Okay, the one from KO.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But now I feel like, when you love something, but now you hear it everywhere, and then it's like,
I know, really. Our generation grown-ups, really. I see it hard, that's what I
Yes.
I see it hard. So, that moment you met your partner,
okay.
Where was it? And when was it?
Okay, the when, I don't remember when exactly.
How they say ladies remember everything. Wait, go again.
Okay, I have this thing of having a very short memory or selective memory, so that's my issue. I was walking from my friend's house, so we normally drop each other off, cut each other off at some point, and then she walks home and then I walk home. Then we were just standing there talking, and then there was this guy and he felt brave enough. so then we spoke, and from that day I had a phone at that time, so and then we started talking over the phone and yes.
And then
And then here we are. Yeah, but
was it a Sunday?
I actually think it was, because it was a few days. I know, because it was in the afternoon, and it was a day or two after Valentine's Day.
It must be a Sunday. Sunday
Yeah.
for us.
I think so. Yes, because I think when I think back to the actual day, it was midday, so there's no way I was. It was not during school week, so yeah, it was probably a Saturday or Sunday.
Okay. Now let's go back to that day you fell in love with cooking. I'm sure there was an influence.
There was. My sister was also doing hospitality and, consumer studies. So it would be what they brought home and the meals that they would bring. And I was like, I'm interested in this. Because, when you do consumer studies, it goes beyond what okuphekwayo endlini yabo.
Yeah.
And my mom used to work at National Union of Mine Workers.
Okay.
So then after school would also go there, and then when she knocks off, then we all go home together. So when you get there, as vele, when your mom works at an establishment, you know everyone, you know the cook, you know the chef, you know futhi, because they'll do like huge functions for like the government at that time, and then so you're there, there's meals being prepared, and you're tasting inyama ongazazi. You're tasting inyama ongazazi, dishes that you're like, hey, okay, khona ushizo nje. So I think around me growing up, there's always been ukudla.
Okay.
Yes. So I think growing up also, it's something that I wanted to explore, and I hate ukudla the same thing all the time. I think that's one of my problems also. Yeah. So going to my mom's work, seeing that there's different types of meats being prepared or food being cooked in different methods, then I would know that, okay, this looks interesting. And my sister bring back dishes from school, and they'll be like, okay. So I think the love for food was, the basic love for food was from my mom's work and what my sister would bring home also.
Okay. Those are a lovely moments when you think about it. I mean, I think the first time I started cooking, I think it was during those times.
Yeah.
You have to wait for someone's turn and he's not there. I hated the waiting part. I hated the waiting part. And I hated how they cooked. So I told myself, you know what, I'm going to start cooking.
Yes.
Even if I cook for the whole week, I don't mind.
As long as you're not eating ukudla okubi.
Yeah, I know.
That's also me. Like, if we were to travel anywhere and I know ukuthi bandla isandla saloyo muntu, I wouldn't mind cooking.
Okay. So, iqala kanjani ke the whole process, you getting to cook or mhlambe joining you also did consumer studies?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So how does kwenzeka kanjani ke finding yourself getting to be KayGee's kitchen?
KayGee's kitchen started long ago. It was actually, the brand KayGee's kitchen was before home cooking with KayGee.
Okay.
Then I think only my circle knew that I had that page on Facebook. But I would share my recipes, and it was still very early stages. So when you introduce people to a different way of upega and stuff, and mom just, okay, you need to go buy cream, maybe is kanjalo. And so maybe they breaking the bank, or they're going to buy cream just only for that dish alone. So it was very early stages, but there's something that I do regret, which was not going on with it all the way through because amanye pages or people had not also started. So it was one of like it was in I think it was 2013. Yes. Then I would always like share ama recipes. I would cook. I would do stuff like that. So even if we were somewhere, people would be like, okay, and stuff like that. So I felt like had I pursued it further than I was quickly to give up on, I would have been maybe way further than I am now. But I always believe Guti isn't to happen for a reason. You never know until you actually be like, oh, okay. But then also in life, you need to understand that sometimes izinto don't happen because you did not push yourself beyond ama limits that you set yourself. So then started home cooking with KayGee, shared my recipes. You'd see, okay, people are now interested. Can't fish besides the frying, flour, in, you know. Chicken nayo, there's different cuts of beef and you can cook them this way and stuff like that. Nama desserts now. And then, okay, fine. I was not getting the feedback. I felt like nakona because I was not getting the feedback. Then I just left it. It's like, okay, I'm tired. Then few years later, started picking up. That was, I think, around 18 or 19. Not sure of the actual year, but I think it was either early 19 or later. Yes, then I started also back to sharing ama recipes, started doing platters, and then started building up. Then came lockdown. But when lockdown happened, ukudla was already pipeline.
Okay.
Yes, it was something that I was doing, but not too many people knew of.
Sorry to cut you. I'm keen to ask this question. At some point you stopped.
Yes.
Was it because that time it was about passion, or you were looking at it like a business side to which you wanna influence?
Oh no, at that time it was for passion. I never knew that there was influencer stuff, you know. For me it was just wanting people to receive it the way I had visioned it. So okay, I'm maybe telling you how to prepare a chicken in a different way. So I would be like, aren't you guys interested in not doing uracha? You know, using different type of herbs and spices and stuff like that. So it takes a while to break down certain walls. And you know, also I was already in Newcastle at that time. So when I came into Newcastle, it was a bit calmer than it is now. Now I feel like more people have gone out of it and come back, so they're more like open to izinto. The moment you start talking about certain stuff, they've tried it, they've been to other places, then they know what you're talking about. I felt like maybe back then I was pushing too much for the place that I was in. But now I feel like more people are open to izinto oz presentai. Yeah.
Okay. And then KG's kitchen again, because you said it started
yes, it started as home cooking with KayGee. And then the name change, I think it happened, it was before I won't say blow up, because I don't think I've blown up. I don't know.
Okay, I think there's a part of what you were doing it as a passion, and then now you're starting it as a business plus passion. Or
you know, the business side of it, you know, it's hard more in the interval when you start off as a passion.
Okay.
There's very little that's taking you to the business side, because you want people to enjoy, isn't ozenzai. You want them to receive passion yakho to taste ukuthi man lento imnandi yini lengidlayo yenziwe kanjani yabo. So and then after you start seeing that okay now I can make money, and then you slowly gravitate towards imali side.
Okay.
I don't know how I can explain it in a way that it's not gonna sound like ubungayenzeli imali. So
No,
yeah, you do it for money, but then at the same time you want it ukuthi by the time umuntu esezokhokha ayazi na ukuthi ukhokhela istandard esinjani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kahle kahle lento is like you are selling experience.
Yes.
So lento nje le boyimunda uyishape like
exactly.
getting to know about your markets.
Exactly. Yes. As I was saying with the fish story, ukuthi someone will say, hey, why am I buying fish for 50 rand here? Where else can you fish a fry gupi for like maybe 10 rands? So I want you to taste the difference between those two fishes and then be like, wow, now I understand why Lenny biza kangaka as opposed to that fried one that we all grew up seeing. Yes.
Okay. I know at some point there was like times of which I had 1,000 moments. Or mhlampe like your journey gravitating towards like being lasting njengamanje. Any of those you like to share about difficulties?
You know, being an entrepreneur is one of the hardest things, you know, when you see it, like when you see Kgomotso and associate him with KayGee's kitchen, you'll be like, oh wow, hey, in. But behind the scenes there is so much that goes wrong. There is so much now that you don't do right. And that's the business side of it. Because yes, you are pega. Excuse me. Yes, you do know how to do cakes, but there's so much of carrying that business from where you started off to now it being an actual profitable business, and setting a market yako. Because that's one thing that's also hard within a business is knowing ukuthi as much as ngithi ngiyakwazi ukwenza lento le, you need to know which type of market are you trying to sell into, because we don't go to school for nothing, guys. You know, we don't go to school. I'm not up here waking up, sleeping 1 hour, and then you selling to a market that does not understand the taste or the experience that you're selling. So for me, it was the costing side.
Okay.
Yes, ukwenza a costing and the admin side, and setting rules or clauses or policies within a business olenzayo. Because once you start selling, let me say this to you, anyone, when they look at this, they just see it as maybe it's just cereal, you know, if I'm selling it the way it is, you know. But some people might not know that this is something that you do from everything. You process it, you do everything, even the yogurt, you the one that's doing it from scratch and stuff like that. And then you now have to break it between it being a popular thing and now you selling it as KayGee's thing. So there's those things supermarkets. And when they are selling stuff, they're selling stuff that are already on the shelves by Hambisa stocks are con. Whereas for me, I have to now climb either a taxi no mangisusi moto and go and buy that product. I need to buy amafuta or all the ingredients that's going to take for me to produce lento len. You going to buy that, it's transport money. It's your time buying that. It's your transport money coming back. It's now the labor part of you producing ilento leyo. It's the packaging also, you know, and then it's the branding. Osazoifaka, that sticker ebhale KG's, you don't get it for free. You have to go with my printers and pay for those. So it's all of that you now need to put into producing that one into A1. And there are those things that you cannot produce ngama 1-1 because moya estoro, it's very hard to go and find mhlambe strawberry by Daisa A1. You know? Yes. So then you need to now start knowing good, okay, because you might someone to mhlambe ngifuna for 5 people, and then you're like, okay, but there's no way I can get mhlambe slices of bread out of 5, you know. I have to go buy the whole bread to only produce into ESO 5. What am I going to do with the rest of the slices? You see? So that's when you need to start setting limits. And then you know, okay, if you want something eganje, a minimum yayo mele phume kanje. So when you start your business, you start now only going to buy that bread and taking out those 5 slices. And now keeping it, you can freeze it, but now in a shelf life, okay, you can only maybe keep it for this. But by the time usuyilahla, no one has bought it. So you've wasted money on keeping isinkwa leso when you've only removed. So you see, ubusha profit, upindu, okay, fine, it's profitable, but then now you're thinking, okay, I've wasted an extra 10 rand, maybe buying into pumanga 20 to only take out 5. So those are the stuff that you need to start setting policies on. Okay, fine, no, I can only do this for that much, you know. And then those are the stuff that is very early on. Okay, I do want to sell, but these are my challenges. And then you overlook lezos into lezo. And then also when you start seeing that, okay, fine, once I've sold len and now someone else is coming and is buying this. You're not supposed to be using a profit that you used from this to now going to buy that. Yes, each and every imali. How am I going to put this?
Imali yomese, iprofit esithole kumese izohlalela ukuthenga omunye umese.
Yes, not to now imali hlezi ikhona, but now you spending it carelessly because khona imali ekuthi ubuspende ukuthenga lokho mele ihlale, it needs to stay kuma savings. And then now if you are saying you want to buy this, I need to already have done my calculations, the profit parts, profit yakhona nayo needs to stay kuma savings, and spend leyo mali that you had calculated to go and buy ama ingredients while lento le and produce it.
Yo, I love the analogy. Like, this thing, like in each and every business, I think those are the same dynamics you need to apply.
Yes. Especially gule eyokuthenga. That's, and you see with the catering business, it's so hard because you see, umuntu mhlambe ozothi udayisa umes, they can buy maybe like however many tons of steel, knowing what it's going to produce a mess. With me, you're gonna come this week, you're going to buy chicken. Someone else gonna come next week is going to buy beef and fish. Mina nhleli no 5 kg with chicken, hoping that the next customer is going to. So it's very hard for you to stock up on certain stuff, not knowing what your next customer is going to buy. Okay. Unlike certain restaurants that you know that they only serve chicken, they can always have a certain number of chicken by in bulk and then produce. So with us, we serve according to what the customer wants. You can. It's hard to stock.
I can imagine.
Yes.
So
that's why you always need to have a costing yako done properly, so that when Siri says ufuna le cocktail, uzoyithola le cocktail nemali yakhona nami ngitholile. When Kgomotso says she wants ama ribs and wings, I'm going to get my profit for that. Not that I spent my profit for Lana, spending it on Lana. Because if your business maybe stops for a while, you still need to, or maybe due to whatever hardship that it might face, you still need to see, good, okay, fine, I've made this much profit. Which is, I don't want to lie, ukuthi costing, because they'll always say ukuthi someone will charge according to whatever afuna charge. But masesikhuluma iqiniso, there's a point where you can see ukuthi lo muntu has just undercharged umsebenzi wakhe, because we buy from the same suppliers, we buy from the same like we all buy flour from the flour brands, sugar from the sugar brands, unless if when akhona ibhasi nje livele lifike lidilize flour kini wabona nje lezo zinto lezo, then you can say. But if ukuthi even lento lezo decorate and stuff like that, we all know how much it costs. So there is a point where you can see that this one is not charging properly. And within like these industries, when you meet up nabantu and you get to talk, you can always hear that there's always that cry that people are undercharging. Yes, I understand that when you're still starting a business, there is early stages. Because I remember when I saying simakeke ngemanje. Okay.
Am I kicking? No. I want KayGee. We have to do another episode. Definitely have to do another episode. Okay. As we jump ship, let's talk about kunjani finding yourself doing angazi bo uyenza, or you were running a competition angazi le find a woman.
Oh yes, that was last year. Yes. What do you want to know about that?
Angazi phela what's funding find a woman all
okay.
about?
With Find a Woman, it was a competition that was done by the Newcastle Mall. I think last year was their first of me hearing it, or it was their actual first, yes. And then ngabona, I was tagged by one of my Facebook friends, and then I saw people kept tagging. I'm like, how, wow. Guys, when you do these things, you still get surprised at how much people actually see ukuthi, excuse me, ukuthi uyasebenza and you are pushing. You still get like teary eyes and be like, oh wow, so many people are actually vouching for me. As much as you may do so much work, but for me now it still makes me like, yo, I'm like, yo, wow. You get surprised that people are still saying, okay, KayGee, and KayGee's Kitchen, and we're like, okay, fine. And then I made it, I think I was the top 3 or I was the top 5. One of the numbers of the top 5 I forgot what number I was. Then you made it. So what they did was to provide within whatever industry you are in, they would provide, let's say you were cooking or you were wenzani. Well, with me, they provided flour, they provided brand assistant, they provided what else? Marketing, so we would be able to go to the mall and sell your products, and so more people could see that you daisan yabo. So that did help a lot, and then
awuzange uphume ugubane nqole nezinto phakathi?
No. no cash nje utholanga.
But like that competition, like made some like ikwenzele igama lakho futhi ukuthi lazeka kakhulu kwabantu ade benganakanga.
Yeah, I would think that, yes, but I wish ukuthi kodwa nabo they could have done mhlawumbe uthola i-voucher ukuthi if you want to buy ezinye izinto within the mall ukuthi bakunikeze or ukuthi you can buy mhlawumbe if you giving you 5,000 to buy in the mall, maybe like kuma food stuff, yabo. Ukuthi not cash ngezandla, because that's why people don't trust. Ukuthi you'll probably be buying ezinye izinto, so that could have helped ngama businesses ethu. Ukuthi at least uyazi ukuthi okay fine, because there's other products that we use within our businesses that need cash. So to vele mhlambe the stores, the franchises do sell lezo zinto lezo, and then if you would get there ubonto okay at least ngiciphisekile la na, but then that's how they chose to run a competition yabo, and I guess they did it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That moment, finding yourself, I think it was this very kitchen, right? You were being interviewed by one of the biggest media company in SA. I won't mention it because how was that moment for you?
Yeah, it was one of those moments where you're like, yo, okay, or are you even ready for the questions that are going to follow? Because they didn't give you mhlampe heads up ukuthi kuyobuzwa nto, but then you just, when you're dealing with into oyenzayo, obviously
you have to be natural.
It's natural. So they're going to ask you about your business. So the answers you're always going to have. So it was one of those moments where you felt okay, wow, this is me. And it was very nice. I don't want to lie. It was nice. And every moment that you experience in Impilweni teaches you how to level up. So you learned there to, okay, I needed lento yokubamba iphone to do ama cameras. You know, niyabiza wazile yokubamba iphone. Because my husband literally sat there in the phone like this the whole time. Yes, you know those things where, because he literally stood there the whole time. I felt for his abs. King, what are these muscles? Yes. So then so. Even with the mall, it helped me learning. It's okay, fine. I need more tables. You need more of advertising material. So each and every phase or new thing as teaches you of stuff that you need to have as a small business. So as much as how small you may look at it, even you coming here, you came here with beautiful gadgets, and I'm like, okay, I think I can buy that. I need to buy that.
No, you have to buy that one. Yes. You have to buy it.
So each and every phase in Impilweni that you go into, it teaches you what to buy or what you need for your business. Yes.
Was it planned or you just received the call, Jyoti?
No, actually one of our local chefs, I think they were looking for someone, and I don't know how they contacted him. Yes, and then Washoguti, they're looking for someone. Are you available on this date? And then I was like, yes, I am. And then he was like, okay, be prepared. I will send through your numbers, and I was happy. Thank you so much. Yeah. So then he called and told me, it's okay, fine. On this day, and whatnot. Then I planned and got ready. Like today.
Were you like friends or you just close very?
You know, for me, I have this thing that within the business or businesses like these, you create
working relationships, because as much as it's competitive, the nature of the business is competitive. Yes. We shouldn't be competitive to each other, because I need to value fine, you doing this and I'm doing that.
that should be the only thing about it that's competitive. Not ukuthi manje mina nawe sesiya compete. No, those things break and limit ama bonds within the industry, because uzothi mhlambe uyahluleka and you can't do this, there's no one to call. There's no one to help you do into yabo. You find yourself in an emergency ukuthi, like when I was in hospital, like for me it was an instant thing eyenzakala where I had no control over. Had I not had anyone to call on that day, I wouldn't have given my customers umsebenzi that is service that they had already paid for. So I always like creating those circles that I know that that I feel that I can trust, that I like, okay, fine, I work with this, I work with you, and then, but there is obviously those limits, but then it's very, very thin limits.
so Ashaka, what you saying would say, as much as you doing business, being new brand, they're gonna be different because we different.
Yes.
But we should manage a working relationship in terms of you find yourself in an emergency, then I come in and I service your client as if it was you. Yes.
So you create that sister in
brother,
business.
Yeah. Okay.
So with me, that's what I like to do. And especially the fact that I always have this thing, when I started, I knew very little of people within Newcastle. So for me, if you come to me and say, okay, Kgomotso, I'm struggling, I will help to a point that I can help. Because ogunye, you can't ask for my recipe, I'm not going to give it to you. But if you ask, okay, I started off, or where did you buy this? I'm definitely going to give you, because I don't make it. If you're asking, where did you buy this glass? I'm going to tell you where I bought it. So it's just those things for me that I just see that we can be serving from the same class, but ngeke serving tefanayo. Yes. So then that's for me. I don't let such stuff limit us. Yeah, where you even end up creating groups, so that if anyone does need help, they're able to ask within the groups. It's just that not everyone is like that. So some people don't even bother asking within their group, or they would rather maybe do an outside thing and then try and come out being the one that does okay, fine, I did this and stuff like that. So, it's not for everyone. That's one thing I'm fully aware of. Okay, that's not for everyone, because some people just are okay working by themselves. But then that's you. But then, so even in that space, if you do call them and ask for help, they're going to. But they don't like being in the center of the group, or where they constantly, because there's people that are way above our levels, or my level. So if you bring them into it's like within your industry, there's so you can't ask him maybe to come into a swimming pond where they still obviously he's going to get asked more questions. So some people run away from lezos into lezo. But if you were to call direct and be like, then they'll be like, no, try this, try that. But they don't always want to be guleyo ndao, where the questions are always obviously basically directed towards you. Yeah.
Oh, today I'm like cleansed. I think some of my answers were answered today. It's a Sunday and I'm being baptized. I'm being baptized. Yeah. Quickly, your proud moments. Let's see, I'm holding on to this. I've received it, and it's doable.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I got a fig
proud moment. Kusanama milestones.
Yes, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, yo, wow.
But I'm sure you're proud.
I am proud of how far I've come because it's into ekade ngifisa. Yes, but I don't wanna lie. Like, you know, whenever I'm asked or when I think about it, I'm just blank. Yeah, I think some of us tend to push ourselves over you know, and maybe not appreciate also how far you've come. Yeah, I think maybe that's also one of my failures empilweni ukuthi uhlezi ufuna ukudlula, but you don't get to sit down and be like, how awuzibuke, look how far look where you are now. But to be honest, I don't have any moment where I can be like, yo, okay.
Yeah. If you were born in which month?
August.
Okay. Linda is also born in August. Maybe that might be important, eh?
Yes, because he's also
I'm also born in August. We perfectionists, by the way.
Yes, I think naloko ukuthi kuyangena, you know, because you see, even when I had to get an assistant, I think I'm always jumping. When I got an assistant, it's hard mothola umuntu to help you because I worked alone for so many years, and then now you're now teaching someone into that you used to doing on your own. So now you start like panicking, is this person doing the right thing? Like, you even find her saying, KayGee, hlala phansi. Like, KayGee, hlala phansi. So, okay, now I'm saying melana, and I'm not doing, I'm doing something I was supposed to be like, hlala phansi, because now, you know, I'm standing there and now making sure ukuthi iphuma kahle. She's like, usuyangisinda ke nami. So I think it's wanting izinto ukuthi zibe perfect or the way you want it to come out. Like, so trusting omunye umuntu nomsebenzi wakho is very hard. It's very hard, Shem.
Inzima leyo nami at some point working with my assistant we come in. At first I said to myself, no, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna buy everything. Yes. But at some point you need to let it go and trust in your umuntu will deliver.
There's certain aspects within a business that, especially excuse me, that you need to learn to let go. Knowing that, okay, fine, in order to increase our orders, increase a clientele, you need to let go of certain stuff within the business. Go to, okay, fine, because you can't be now doing the one or print or in, you know, stuff like that. So there's stuff that you need to let go, and then you know it's okay, you are focusing maybe on the final touch. Lento ezobonakala ukuthi okay, le iphuma kwa KayGee's kitchen, which for me definitely is the flavor and the appearance. Ogunye, for now, I can trust ukuthi okay, those minor details I can have umuntu to help me out. And then once I do feel okay, they have gotten to know ukuthi this is, because there's certain stuff that we do, like a cream spinach, you know, a lot of us do cream spinach, but there's a reason why people will just even order mhlampe something from somewhere but come to you and say, can I just have your cream spinach or shakalaka wako yabo sizobraya endlini, I just want ama sides from when yabo. So they could have also did that, but they know it's okay, fine, I want this flavor lengazi ukuthi nje my guests are going to be wood maybe ngadle into ekanje yabo. And then even when you get a call and like, okay, I got your number yakho from usbanban besidla yocha ebimnandi namcela ungenzele, and then the moment they get to see your profile, but how wenza nalokho vele sala sengikuorder konke vele kuyena, and then they be like, hayi cha sisi kumnandi ukudla, you know. That's for me, it's like one, they're like, oh, okay.
That's what spends on this other day. I ordered the platter, like the meaty platter.
Yes.
It's my birthday. Ne?
Oh,
Endly. No, not today.
Oh no! I'm thinking. I didn't know it was you. Probably.
Yeah. So, endlini ukuyabuka ukuthi okay no. Inumber ye platter le bizoba cover lo is gonna be small, right?
Oh, shame.
Senze eceleni sekuyabrayiwa inyama. Guess what? Our friends abathola lokhu bese ngithi la ngizokungeza ngikusevele. And we're like ish kumnandi lokudla lokho. Ngithi hayibo majafu
lezayo.
Ngisabatha lokho bekubrayela abantu kusedliwa lokho. It was a mess. Yeah, so a quick quiz. Your favorite chef, celebrity chef, celebrity chef.
I don't have one.
Your favorite chef?
I don't have one. Myself. No, seriously.
Okay.
If I haven't tasted into yako, I cannot label you as a favorite. Okay. Because as nyizinto, you see when you're doing stuff for magazines and stuff like that, you could be serving Leon Toro. Senze look shoot ukuthi orange mhlambe ama-carrot must look very nice. So I know the background of it. So if I haven't tasted ukudla kwakho, or if I have tried to do your recipe and it was just a mess. So honestly, I haven't tasted. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't.
Which one do you think is your favorite? Yako looking presentation yake because Gordon Ramsay.
No, I don't like the shouting of him. I'm not that type of a person, so I wouldn't get to that point where I don't, unless if it comes with the industry, I'm not too sure, because obviously I don't own such a huge establishment where I'm walking in and like, no, that's not me. So I don't like that personality. Not that I don't like him. I don't like what he.
Okay.
Because thing is, you know, when you know stuff within the industry, you know what they're saying, be that person. Is not that way. So yeah.
I understand. Bukela ini that you draw inspiration to spice up your cooking or try something. Excuse me.
What I used to look
now
at.
No longer.
What I used to look at was food magazines.
Okay.
Yes. And then with me, I don't copy recipes, I would say. If it says that this was made with this and this and that, then I'm going to come home and go buy those main ingredients, but I'm not going to follow it to the T, because that's how you did it. And another thing about writing my recipes, that's the reason why I also find it hard, like, because when I cook with what I have at home. And now writing it down is also another thing, like, okay, you write down that maybe you added a tablespoon of this, but within the cooking process, we have to you know, and then you add maybe a dash of this and a dash of that. Now it's hard to write that down. I think that's why also with maybe some recipes, that's the reason why they don't come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
My last question.
Last? Okay.
If you are given a chance, say you are a president.
Okay.
Ungabi political, I'm just getting a feel ukuthi nje how does
Kgomotso
think. What would you change?
Honestly, there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah. For me, would be our education system.
Okay.
I feel like it's very outdated, especially where we headed to. Where you can see that it's so much, there's so much technology involved, you know, for the subjects that we still have within government schools, basically, I would say. So it would be that, knowing very well that we headed into a technological phase empilweni zethu. So our kids are learning izinto that won't matter by the time they get into the real world, you know. And when it's time to be practical, because as much as we do learn izinto esikolweni, what matters the most is the practicalness of
Are they relevant, like, to the actual?
You know, once you get out there, what are you learning? They're not even teaching ATM. You have to take your child to ATM, okay, keep malega nje, wenza in. So, you know, those things that most companies are even introducing, we have to learn for ourselves. It's okay, fine, this is how it's done. But they're not implementing those stuff into the education system. So I wish that could happen. And also, when you look around our townships, there's very little that's there to keep her ingane gule mpilo that's currently killing them manje. Yabo lo paranes osekhona. Like, people are aware ukuthi bakhona amapara, and it's due to kids that, and it started off very lightly ukuthi baby behlalaphi outside in a tuck shop. So that when that was identified, I felt like, because when I grew up, there were recreational centers, but as I grew up, I saw that now they were also being demolished or not working. So if that was not working for Inganza Manje, it was supposed to be developed or checked. Okay, fine, what are kids now at this phase of empilweni, what are they interested in? What can we interest them? What activities can we introduce in townships, in suburbs that will keep... There's things that you cannot obviously stop. You can't stop those things. But there's just a huge majority now of kids that have just given up. I don't know if given up, because it's not an environment that I'm familiar with. So I don't know what kind of terms to use to describe ukuthi yini le bayenza, but it's stuff that we can all see that's happening, you know. So I wish that they could, within the government, there's like psychologists, there's those type of people that are able to check and be like, okay, this is what ingane zamanje are dealing with, you know. So how do we now come up with systems to break them? If you can't break this group out of it, how do we prevent le group ezayo into this phase so that nabo bangapheleli bagcine befana nalabo, you know? And for them to see that when they're paying what's that, child grants, you see by the number of child grants that you are offering this year, it has increased from the previous years. You already know that you need more schools. Now, how are we having inking of ama entry levels, go grade 1, go grade 8? You're already seeing that there's a problem with there's being more kids coming into the world. How do we not have ikolo for these kids to go to? Because I feel like the government system should be interlinked. Like home affairs, they should know, okay, mang nat let's go ID. So this group now are going into a high school. These ones came in to do birth certificates. These ones now, after these years, are going to need uba as a crash. They're going to need uba as a grade 1. So there's nothing that's just happening via ghost. Like, you know, they know. Most especially, you go in there, you write down that you're coming to give birth. They give you a birth certificate. Why are they not using those systems to grow up in communities or communities that we're growing into, you know? Like even within Newcastle, where the hospital, our provincial hospital, has now become only women and kids, but they can see that it's not working. And then wonke umuntu is now going to the location to get basic services. Like, and that should be, they should maybe like 3 hospitals within Newcastle, because even the smaller towns around Newcastle are reliant on Newcastle. So how is it that we're only having such fewer major services for a town ending in Newcastle? Because when you drive around going to other places, you will see that there isn't anything
Because what is your political? But I get
no,
you.
I did not mention any political party.
No. but your home so
exactly.
Yo,
Yeah.
KG, she's very smart. She's very smart. Where do people order this beautiful food that we are about to indulge?
And you better order, guys. Like, guys, nabona masen posta ku Instagram vele ngithi le client lami leli client lami kodwa mase ngikutshela iprice vele uthi nje really vele ngithi but how to order? It's via WhatsApp. My number is 065 831 6333. Yes. And my social media pages is KG's Kitchen, which is both on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Yeah.
You had it here. That was our sharp 6 episode 6
with KG.
Yeah. Thank you so much, KG. I think we need to do another one, right?
I feel like we need to do that one because I feel like this was more focused on the food, and I do more than that.
Okay. No, we'll do it again, but
yes.
Man, this was so fruitful. Like
I felt like it was short, but yeah, this was nice.
I hope I also profiled you like
yes,
you felt good.
No, I honestly felt good. It flowed. It was good, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are having me in your kitchen.
Oh, thank you for coming.
All right, you had it here. Series episode 6. It's a wrap.